All right, here we go. Sorry I'm a little late today. I usually try to prep everything in advance so that you don't have to watch me fumble around on the video. Um, Again, I'll wait for. I should probably just start this early and let people arrive. But if for people who want to watch it on YouTube later, I don't really want to have them sitting around. I mean, they can always just, I guess, click ahead. For anyone joining after the fact, today is an interesting circumstance that I'm processing a set of photos that, while I did do them back in the day, they just never made it up onto anything I ever had online. So even if you were one of those people that were aware of my various photo archives before they one by one bit the dust, and are now being reconstituted, just be aware that now this is something that would never have made it up online or been indexed by Google or copied by that guy in China that kept downloading the photos again and again and again and caused the web hosting to want my mirror to kick me off. So anyway, I don't really see anyone who's. Oh, there's someone. I wonder who it is. Is it just me? Well, who's ever there, hi. Anyway, like I said, so this set of photos that I'm working with, were the reason I never really put them up was because I took them during a wedding I went to with my ex-girlfriend way back in 2004. Wedding was up in Montpelier, Vermont. I got a decent set of photos, but for whatever reason, because the wedding photos in the set or whatever, I never put it up online. I do have fortunately I have the directory listing from my old photo sets, and over the last week I was in a position to try to check them for consistency, to make sure that everything I was going to reconstitute it up on the new website. I never really I kept a backup of all the content, but I didn't keep it in the exact form, because over the years it just evolved to something different from what I would store the files locally. So the bad news is 3 of the photo sets, including a FL9 / Metro North FL9 trip, were lost. I don't have the originals, so I can't reprocess them. But the good news is I found 2 sets of photos, or not really 2, but at least 1 set of photos that I had never put up. So it's -3 then +1. So I got 1 back. Anyway, we got some additional people who just missed what I was explaining. Anyway, like I said, trip to Vermont for a wedding in 2004 with a whole bunch of Springfield Line and other photos. So, starting off, for some reason, I was in Stamford, and I don't know, because the person I was dating was in Connecticut, so I was on a lot of Amtrak for that year. But I don't know why specifically I would have gotten dumped off in Stamford. Unless I took Metro North to the first Amtrak. I was probably transferring from Metro North to Amtrak. Now, why I was on Metro North, I don't know. Saving money, maybe I was visiting one of my New York friends. Got me. But anyway, one of those things that I didn't realize how lucky I was to. I mean, to be up there where Metro North was still running FL9s. They'd scrubbed their signaling system, but they were still running a lot of old diesels. So, and this one is their New York Central Heritage paint scheme from 20. Sorry, it's the number is 2012, and it's one of the Heritage New York Central paint schemes. So. I don't need that thing anymore. Come on, what's going on here? Oh, there it goes. What the heck? Oh. I have to reopen all these photos. I changed the file name out from under it, so it doesn't really know what to do, but we'll see. How's that? There we go. So I know that I was on Amtrak because I started getting these out the back, red tinted out the back of an Amtrak thing though. And oh yeah, there you go. So yeah, I guess I was waiting at Stamford long enough for the Waterbury. Would that have been what kind of shuttle would that have been? I mean, in theory, it should be New Canaan, but that's not diesel. Anyway, for whatever reason, this shuttle train was laying up here, had pulled out, went into the yard, and here it is again. Stamford Yard's one of those very odd ones that involve sort of switchbacks and stuff. There we go. That should get everything humming along here. So, like I said, another thing I used to do and don't anymore was any of my New Haven photos I would number sequentially from 1 to whenever, because it was something I held over when I first started taking some photos in like 1997. I didn't have a good naming scheme. So anyway, this is just the Amtrak power change at New Haven. Not sure exactly. I guess I was on a straight. I might have been on the Vermonter. I wound up on the Vermonter a lot. Never really liked it. I didn't realize like, oh man, why can I never get a seat? Then I realized it was like a 6-car train with 5 amphitheaters and a cafe. And you know, there's a reason I'm not getting a seat, because there's not enough not enough cars. Trying to get whatever that is. It's 6698 for that New Haven painted C-Dot Jeep back there. Anyway, so he's doing the backup move, and got New Haven 9968 behind it. So yeah, I would wind up on the Vermonter a lot, because I would have an inland destination, and the Vermonter would sort of be a 1-seat ride, and then I just realized that the more I rode, it was more expensive because of the limited, when even with well, back in 2004, this would have been when you still could do unreserved seats, I think. So again, it was reserved when the other one was unreserved, which is nice to have unreserved. Because you could just switch that to, back in the day before they did reservations, you could do just have an unreserved Amtrak ticket and get on a train. It was so what I would usually do is I would get a reserved ticket, and then I would just use it if I wanted an unreserved train, and then I would just use it on an unreserved. But if I missed the train, you just use the ticket somewhere else. But nope, that's way too convenient. Can't have that. I mean, it plays hell with their yield management, but it was great when it lasted. And when there was when this train was standing room only, you would often have implied verbal consent to stand in the vestibule, which was also nice. I would spend an entire. I mean, if you gave me the choice, I would gladly stand in the vestibule for us, even for 6 hours over a ride next to someone, especially on an aisle. I'd prefer standing in the vestibule over first class. I'll tell you that. Maybe. I don't know. There's free alcohol on Acela Express. Definitely business class, though. Anyway, here we have number 103 backing on to... This had to have been the Vermonter, because the Vermonter back then had that backup move, and there was probably a Metroline or cab car on the other end. Or they were putting 2 diesels on it. They would often run it with the diesel on each end or with a cab car and not. They sort of got off the cab car because of the grade crossing issues. But anyway, they're doing the tie-on, and he's applying the blue flag right there. I should put this on Wikipedia. This is a really great example of a blue flag going on an engine. I probably, when I was boarding the train through the back there, I got this little picture of the inside of a Genesis, the airbox, which in this case, so here you can see you have radiators above it. Cooling air is drawn in, and it's this is where they, in the air area, they put the air compressor, which benefits from the cooling air, which is drawn up through the radiators in the top of the ceiling. Reasonably designed. I think they got Germans to design, or GE went to Germany to get the monocoque chassis for the Genesis done. Here we have this nice picture of number 103. Dropped me off on Meriden. It looks like they were putting one on each end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars and another P42. And this was probably wasn't even. I doubt that they would have had both producing propulsion. This would have been used for the backup move past Palmer. And see 5 cars. 2003 to about 2006, and I've said this before, was really a grim time for Amtrak ridership. Lots of breakdowns, lots of cars out of stock, and they were severely cutting back on the number of Am fleets. Like a typical NEC train will only have like 6 cars. So and there would be, on the NEC, there are frequent AEM7 mechanical issues resulting in hour-late trains. It was almost, you could expect it was a time where it was not surprising to have your train be an hour late on the NEC. Then they did a stated good repair program, and that kind of went away. All right, here we are. Cut ahead to Montpelier. I don't know where this is. This isn't a static display. This is legit. So I do have a map of, I do have some Montpelier stuff up here on Wikimapia. So I remember that we went up via whatever that is, 90 something. 80. Oh, I guess it would be. You take 91 to Hartford, and then I guess, whoa, that's interesting. Yeah, wait. Huh, yeah. Sorry, it's Hartford, Vermont. Yeah, and then you got to take 89 up to Montpelier. And then from there, yeah, there is a rail line downtown, so I suspect that engine was hanging out somewhere downtown. Or there. Yeah. Anyway, this is just Green Mountain Railroad 803, which is, I think, a GP8, or I mean, it's a rebuild. It's a rebuilt GP7, or just a straight GP7. I should check that out. I looked it up earlier. It's now a Black River and Western unit. Wait, I have the Wikipedia page already pulled up, so here we go. Oh, it's not on their act. There it is. 803. Oh, it's GP9. Sorry. Sold to Belvidere and Delaware Railway. It's basically Black River and Western. So it's a GP9. I'm sorry. It's not a GP7. I should have known that from the dynamic grids there. I also had the reporting markup. GMRC. And here we have the other end. Oh, it looks like it was outside the train station there. So I can find it if I wanted to. There's a turntable. I can't, and see, for the life of me, I remember going to the wedding, but I can't remember at all, like, doing any of this other stuff. See, that's not the Montpelier Amtrak station. I go there later. This was clearly something downtown. And I just don't know where that's, whatever that station building is. I'd have to dig around and find it. I can't even really remember where we stayed. Anyway. I'm not sure how I noticed this or found it. I was when I went up there, I wasn't actually even looking to do like railroad stuff. It was just sort of, hey, whatever we see, we see, and this is what we one of the things we saw, which is pretty neat. And always have your camera ready. That's a bank. Huh? Look at that. That's super adorable there. Look at that. They got a little drive-through. The little bank drive-through it's part of the. Oh, that's adorable. Maybe a Google search will help. That's not it. It's an. I don't know. You got me. I'm making an assumption that is that is in Montpelier, but where else would it be? And well, I'm not gonna look for it. You don't want, you're not here to see me do that. I have no idea what this place is. And who knows, it could have gotten knocked down or something. Hold on one sec. Yeah, it's funny. It's like you think you go to a place and might be near wherever that is. Oh, it looks like this has been moved. Yeah, there we go. See, I don't think that's, I think this is in Bar, Vermont. Let's see what that is. Oh, it is. That's the problem. It's not Montpelier. It's Bar or Bear, one of the two. And there it is. Now a bank. Former Central Vermont station now hurts the bank branch and every. There we go. That's why I was having trouble. Perfect. So if something's never working out, it's never a good idea just to ignore the problem, because you probably have something. Because now I would have mislabeled the station. If I just made that assumption that it was Montpelier, then I just would have said, oh, this is the Montpelier station, because that's where I was going. but I took the time. And the clue was where that number 14 was, that bar in Chelsea GE 70 ton, which apparently has since been moved. But because I bothered to actually do a quick search and answer the question, and now I can properly label my pictures. Come on. So this is apparently the old Central Vermont station. And here we have the bar in Chelsea, number 14. So this was located, I mean, it said behind somewhere. Oh, there it is. It would have been right there. I think there, because that looks like the right building. Sort of a brown building there. Do I get any, can I get some Google Street View on this? Yeah, there it is. Or, no, it would have been that one there. Probably where that caboose or something is. Yeah, that makes sense if it was sort of in that parking lot or around this building or over there. Because there's the brown. Got our first batch of stuff done. This is going to be a kind of full set today, but not over full. Well, a bunch of it's going to be me trying to identify Vermont government buildings. Because all of the state of Vermont's government buildings are located in are housed in adorable Victorians, which is just perfect, totally in character. I love how the historic marker is granite. Oops, shoot. Damn it. Oh. Alright, I didn't check who was in the chat. When I searched for the bar in Chelsea 14, there's a YouTube of it being moved somewhere. Hold on. What was I just looking for? Oh, that's right. I wanted to see if I could actually read this. Can I read this? Look at my preserved memorial last century. Okay, I want to make sure that you don't want to over de-res your photos so you miss what's on the historic marker. I want to make sure I can read that going on there. At the time before it was moved, and I'm not gonna stream a YouTube video. I can drop it in the chat. I mean, you can Google it yourself. Where is it? Right here. I just want to get the link. Kill you. Yep. That's where it was. There's the station. I'm gonna drop this in the link in the chat. Those tracks, they're Green Mountain Railways. So there's that's when was that done? September 2015. So I guess that was moved fairly recently. I mean, I guess that's recent. Anyway, at the time, I'm not sure if I got in the cab or just the windows were open, because I could see that some of the windows were definitely open. So I don't know where this went. I'm going to have to Google it or something, but it's neat that I guess the cab was open? General Motors 70-ton diesel electric locomotive, blah, 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 blah. Interesting. I want to make sure that I can read that, or try to be able to read that. There we go. Try to sharpen the heck out of this. Can I read that? Feeling like it's 70-ton, third locomotive ordered, blah, 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 blah. Okay, looks good. Just on the verge of not. Your little fireman's seat. You know, this was a 70-ton, so that means you had to, by a lot of collective bargaining agreements, you had to have a fireman. Because at least on the PRR, anything over 44, a lot of it in the model, like stuff, anything over 44 tons required a fireman by all the collective bargaining agreements. So that's why the GE 44 ton was 44 tons specifically. So you only need one crew member for a 44 tonner. Yeah, I'm clearly in the cab here. And here we have, yeah, the door's open. Yeah, okay. Took advantage of that one. So I'll have to look where this was moved. All right, now I'm going to get into the sort of the boring part of this. So this is, see, they're lovely. They're lovely, wonderfully maintained Victorians up there in Montpelier. This is some sort of state building. It's got the American Legion and other stuff in it. Don't know why it needs to build a state building, but whatever. But I'm just gonna put down the address. There you go. Next, this is the State House. Not much need to do there. Very, again, Montpelier is so weird because you're in this microscopic little town, and then suddenly you're running into all the state government buildings. Really cool. It's kind of got that. It's got that wonderful like small government. And I don't mean small government in the like super libertarian sense. I just mean, for a lot of this country's history, there just weren't a lot of people in the country. So any state, every state was Wyoming. Vermont just still happens to be that way. But even back in the day, when every state was Wyoming, government was small because there wasn't a lot you could do, and it was super accessible. It wasn't super. I'm not saying it was. I'm sure there were a lot of issues with stuff back in the day, but it was sort of like libertarian by design, because there's just less that could be done for you. And here we go. And then a nice little view of the State House garden there. one's a little off kilter. Want to fix that up a bit. Huh, the flags are at half-mast. I wonder why. Not the federal ones, just the state ones. Probably some local politician died. State senator or something. That would be my assumption. Not much is really going on in 2004. Here we have another cute Vermont State building. At least they're plainly labeled. This is 2 Aiken Avenue. The Buildings and General Services Department and the Commissioner's Office. It's like the Commissioner's Office is probably the one guy and his office. What's this guy? This is 1 Baldwin Street, I'm pretty sure. Let's double check that. There it is. It is 1 Baldwin Street. I remember the weather up there was exceptionally nice. Oops. Need to set the quality level a little lower. Oh, in signaling news, I was out on the Amtrak PR main line. They're cutting in the 562 between Thorne and Park on Monday. For anyone who cares, I got pictures of the two. The maintainers were out, but they were really nice. I was speaking with the guy for about probably 45 minutes, just telling him, just talking, because I was waiting for a Keystone to show up. Thanks for what? Oh, and like I said to Bob, if he's still in the chat, the tracks through Bear are not abandoned. They just might look it. It's just a short line, either Green Mountain Railway, which I think still exists, or Central Vermont. They kind of have some sort of weird, or Vermont Railways, which has some sort of weird relationship with each other. I'll have to put some. Damn it. Okay, here we have 2 Aiken again, just from the back. I have one of my friends actually works up in New Hampshire. He's an architect specializing in rehabs of this. He does work on these kind of places. But that's a beautiful slate roof, beautiful fish scale. I mean, this is just immaculately preserved. I guess at some point I'll get back to trains. We got the side of the State House. Kind of a little backlit there. We got a brick one here. Brick, mostly brick. Oh man, look at that fish scale. Look at those fish scale siding. Oh, it's so nice. This is 128 State Street. Sorry, I said we'll get back to trains in a minute. So yeah, I had a pretty successful day getting some pictures. I went out to Whitford. If anyone knows the Philly area, that's where the truss bridge goes right over the station. Really nice out there. If you've seen my Twitter, you'll see a picture of it. Pretty beautiful day, especially away from the coast. Around like the Parksburg area, it was 76 degrees. It's nice what we have down now. I mean, it's going to be nice tomorrow. If anyone's in a position now. What is this? No plain label there. Looks like it's on the main drag. So this is why I brought up the street view of the area. Okay, here's downtown. It's 126 and 128 State Street. I'm betting it's there. I'm betting it's. Is that it? Let's see. Yeah, it's been repainted since then. Still looks pretty nice. And this is 132 State Street, the Auditor of Accounts. That's got to be a nice place to work. I don't know what the heck I called this stuff back in the day. Don't know where this. I mean, this is clearly in Montpelier. It's some sort of park or something. Looks like I just stopped. I just was like, "Hey, stop the car." No, I need a little less than that. Here we go. So this was, so again, Amtrak Vermonter, at least, I'm not sure if this has changed, but it uses New England Central trackage, or it did. It would go out to Palmer, then it would get on the NECR there, which would form D territory, go up to sort of the Brattleboro area, where it would get back on the Connecticut, along the Connecticut River line. I don't know what's up with the New England Central these days. Let's see. Yep. Oh, I was about to say, it looks like it hasn't been bought by B&P yet, or Genesee in Wyoming, but it has. They're all bought by Genesee in Wyoming. Does G&W not own anything yet? Passenger services, blah blah. Vermont are between DC, St. Albans, north of Vermont use the NEC right of way at East Northfield, Mass. Largest cause delays in line, been signal problems. Mainline track, blah 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 blah. Yeah, but so it's still NECR. So here we have the Amtrak. So I'm not sure if I should use this as Montpelier. I mean, it's clear the Montpelier, it's the Amtrak Montpelier station. I'm not sure I want to put. Should I? Trying to think I should use Montpelier Junction or what? Probably Montpelier Junction because that serves both roles. It's northbound. I checked that out before. Beautiful little station. Beautiful day. This is in August and it was nice up there. That propane facility is still there. I just saw it on the Google Maps. I don't really have a New England Central survey going on, so I'm not going to label this with any specific milepost or anything. In hindsight, it's one of those if Uber or the way that cars or whatever that easy car rental service existed today, I probably would have tried to take the train up. My girlfriend was okay with some of that, but I don't know if she would have. I think I mentioned it and she was like, "No, we're not taking the train." This is inside. At the time, Amtrak had a lot of staff. I mean, I think they have this is one of the first lines to have the station hosts who come out like they're volunteer dudes. They're not really ticket office people. I always remember that the Amtrak station agent at Meriden, Connecticut. They only had enough money for straight 8 hours a day, and he'd vanish. It was like he was there from something till 11, and then he would be gone, and he'd be back at 2 to 6. So it was 7 to 11 and 2 to 6. So if you got there for a midday train, he wouldn't be there. They did put a quick track in at some point, which largely eliminated my need for an actual human. The first time I had but on the early days when I when I was having to deal with school and stuff back in before this, around 2000, I remember not having that guy there was a substantial headache. Beautiful view here down the tracks at the Montpelier Junction station. Super nice. Oops, that's not the last one. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know what the trains. I guess the train's only really there early in the morning or late at night. So the station was just closed down this time of day. But yeah, I remember that Meriden station. Those first couple years, it was a real pain in the butt. There was more than once where I had to have the tickets mailed to me. There were times when I was going down to Georgia, and the Gainesville station didn't have often did not have a quick track, and I had to get the tickets mailed to me. It worked pretty well if you just had to get them early enough. I should probably check the chat. Oh, thanks for the subscription. CP723. What the heck's that one? Google will tell me what it is. Oh, that thing. I hope they do more ACU rebuilds. Especially, I'd love to see 80 Mac ACUs. That would be super nice if they did it. Okay, so now we're doing a jump ahead to spring. I went to the spring interlocking at Springfield, and this looks like it's even. This is before the general Springfield Line resignaling. I do have a Springfield Line guide diagram here. Let me go pull it out. Just got to sort of find it. These are not, well, these are just a whole bunch of PDFs I got over the years. And they're not super well organized. There it is. Mill River to Springfield. 2008. So this does not have the new stuff, but it will have enough in it to give me the diagram. So this shows coming out of this is the whole Springfield terminal is this wonderful thing of like who owns what, because so this is Sweeney interlocking. Here's our Amtrak controlled spring signals. There's your CSX signals, and those are the green are the Pan Am and Guilford rail system, which I think is now, I don't know, I think Amtrak's dispatching that north of the city, but it's this whole wonderful little hodgepodge of this, that, and the other thing. Now, unfortunately, I'm not really seeing signal numbers, just track numbers, which would make this sort of irritating, but I can always use Amtrak's typical naming procedure. So there's track 1, track 2, but what's going to the station there? Is that going to be track 2 or is that going to be track 4? That's the hard part when you're dealing with weirdo station stuff. All right, let's just see what we have here. So here we have where is this? What am I looking at? I know where this is. That's road rail. This has got to be road rail tracks. This has got to be the signal coming out of the station track. Don't see a number on it. I'm just going to call it 2S for lack of a better anything. And then we have whatever those guys are going to be. So that switch there is likely to be that. Sorry, you can't see me point there. There's the 2S, and then we have two more switch signals there. So I'm just going to take a stab at this. So again, these H5s are New Haven vintage. They were Amtrak rebuilt. For those of you who don't know the Springfield line, Amtrak substantially rebuilt it around 1986. It used to be a double-track ABS 251 line with very, very limited interlockings. There was something at Hartford, and then there was this, and everything else in between was temporary block stations with hand-throw switches. So they updated it to Rule 261, and they used these New Haven H5s on brand-new masts. It was really a classy thing, but around 2004, 2005, they started ripping out the H5s and replacing them with LEDs. Then they just recently rebuilt the line using Rule 562. So, other fun fact about the New Haven line was that for the longest time, the dispatcher located in Boston was using a physical unit lever panel for the entire line as opposed to a video display. Let's make sure I can spell that right. Sweney. More E's. All right, let's see. Let's see. I hope I can do better. So here we have the old Spring Tower. Spring Tower is never gonna have to worry about roof leaks because even though it doesn't really have a roof, they built Interstate 91 directly on top of it. So you wouldn't know it's there unless you use the Vermont. Unless you've taken the Vermonter in there. Now I should be able. Oh, you know what I can go? You know where I can go to find this? Massachusetts. And it'll give me the New Haven signaling station number for it. There he is. SSE 274. There it is with the roof before Interstate 91. But it's nice. Listen, I don't care. It's okay. So the roof's gone. Whatever. It still looks pretty nice. Put into service 1928. It was mechanical 1914. So I think this tower is from 1928. Anyway, this is one I'm going to look up the old name. I've been trying to at least do the tower names are simple enough. There it is, SS74. SSE 274. There it is. There's the picture. This time not, you can see that original one was not straightened. Here we have another good picture of Spring. I've been back there a couple of times. I think that last time I went to Springfield, I would have looked around more, but unfortunately, it was just downpouring rain, and I was not able to. I went to the Springfield Armory Museum, and I was not able. I ran into the new Springfield Station, which looks really, really nice, but it was just raining buckets, and I could not get out and do the stuff I wanted to do. And here we see so there we have that track 1 signal on Sweeney, and then the other one there. So this is the one that hits the diamond. I don't know what uses that diamond. There's the Boston and Albany, the CP 98 or 7. I'm gonna have to look that one up too. Zoom out of Montpelier, zoom into Springfield. For those of you who don't know, the new Springfield station. So Amtrak, even though the new station was there, they didn't have the concourse structures to get you up there. But I think that's almost completed. And they should have access to all the station tracks. So it is CP 98. Here we have the Boston and Albany one, which is 14, and I don't know what the Amtrak one is. So, yeah, it's like, what do you do when you have two the signals from two different interlockings in the same picture? I'm gonna go with the CP98 because I actually have its number, and if you have its, that means I can. It's a good. I can get a better label off of it. There we go. It really doesn't like me doing that. Yeah, I don't like my crop on this initially, so I'll try to do a bit better. There we go. It was just coming out a little too large. That's better. And 2 more left in the set. Here we got the diamond looking northbound. I really want to come back to this area and get better pictures of this whole interlocking. It's in a secluded place. I'm pretty sure I can sort of zip around there without anyone really getting mad. So definitely could have done it back then. Don't know now, but we'll see. Trying to figure out how did I get in there. Yeah, there's just like a street. Yeah, you just pull into that like open driveway there, and that was the old. That was where Amtrak's Mail and Express. They used to run dedicated mail trains would go up the Springfield Line because there was a big postal processing facility near there somewhere. I don't know where it was exactly, and they had a platform where they dealt with it. The old mail handling terminal, and then it was just sort of like the postal service. The reason that you lost all the Amtrak mail cars is because the post office basically wanted all their contracts to be door to door. Previously, the mail contracts involved Amtrak getting it to a city and the post office having to pick it up. So here we have. Yeah, wow, it still says Amtrak Mail and Express Depot. Maybe that's just a really old photo. Probably. Oh, looks like they put a little new fence in there. But, yeah, see the fence is just fencing in the Amtrak Maintenance Away Depot. Wow, there's actually a freight train coming off the thing. But it looks like I could just walk my way up right there. To get to the track area. It was also pretty easy to get up there on this side too. Yeah, see, look. This gets you, you're right here, and you can go right up to the tracks via there. There's people wandering around. It's one of those cities where it's still pretty gritty, and it's not so it's like there's still enough poverty and people wandering about that you don't get swarmed. See, right, you can go right up there. You don't get swarmed as soon as you do by cops. As soon as you step out of line. Pretty neat. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm slowing everything down here. But I really want to. I've always wanted to do a little bit better exploration of that Springfield terminal area, and I'm glad that I got the pictures I did from that Springfield trip I took in 2005 or so. But see, I have a whole bunch of pictures I took from the train. Here's the one I wanted to get the name out of. There it is. So this is when I was there in this is another picture that I took when I went back to the area. You can see the H5 is still there. Anywho, last picture. Just gonna give this the old save. Don't even need to realign that. That's not a bad photo at all. And that should be it. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. Oh, I need to not save that at... Oh, what the heck's going on here? Oh, I didn't resize it. That's why. Thank you for joining me here today. Finished up in just about the hour, which is nice. There we go. Yeah, the nice coat of fresh paint. It's probably still in maintenance away outfit. So, don't need that. Maybe I do. Anyway, thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Definitely, I'm not sure when my next one's gonna be. For 2 weeks, I'm scheduled to go down to Georgia on the Crescent. Probably the safest Amtrak roumettes are probably the safest way to travel. Right now, the trains are empty and you're in your own room. So I'm not super COVID worried. If you guys need to travel anywhere, I would definitely recommend an Amtrak roumette. They could use some extra bucks, or you can cash in some of your points. But that's what I've got booked in 2 weeks. So I'm not sure. Definitely, I'm not going to be available that Friday. So I'm not sure where the next thing's going to be. Oh, you want my Brian? What's your Telegram ID, and I'll Telegram you mine if you want it. Anyway, my Telegram. I'll just tell this is Telegram. There you go. Anyway, have a great day, and I will see you next. I said I'll see you whenever. I'm not sure when I'll be. It might be something related next weekend. It might be next Monday. I just don't know because next week, it all depends. So I might be back next week. I might be back around sometime around July 4th. I might not be back for any of those times. So I'm sorry, but just keep an eye out. And have a great day. Have a great Independence Day if I don't see it before then. Keep cool. Enjoy the weather. Stay outside. Be productive. Stay safe. Etc. And like I said, don't be too scared of transit. Just take proper precautions. All right. See ya.